Hey everybody, welcome to Sexy Nerd Science Season 5, Episode 7. I'm here with Josh and Dale as always, and my name's Drew, as you can see.
My name's Josh. Hello there.
I'm Dale. Greetings.
I already said your guys' names. I was saying my name because I didn't say it.
Well, I'm just saying the voice that you're hearing belongs to Josh.
And Dale, do you have any super weird thing you want to say about your voice and name too?
Tatooine.
Nice. Perfect.
This is CNN.
It's kind of funny that you said Tatooine questionably, like, in the form of a question. We have some news that kind of came out today about a beloved Jeopardy host.
Where is Tatooine?
He didn't say, like, where is Tatooine? He just said Tatooine. Like,
Because those are you ask the answers, and then you have to say the question.
yes.
That's how Jeopardy works.
No, I know.
Josh didn't.
That's when you get tried for a same crime twice.
That's double Jeopardy.
That's double Jeopardy.
I thought that's when you win twice the amount of points.
Well, that's also double Jeopardy.
That's double dare.
No, Double Dare is a show from the 90s.
Oh, Dale knows. Dale is well aware.
You're supposed
That's Mark
you're supposed to
Summers.
say you're supposed to say that's Jeopardy.
Did you guys know that
Because
Dale
of
was on
Jeopardy.
Double Dare, guys?
No way.
I wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dale, how could you withhold this information?
What did you
from
did
us?
something at like Nick Studios way
Yes,
back?
I did stuff. I didn't do double dare.
What'd you do? It
What'd
was
you do with
something.
that sweet Nickelodeon palace?
They have a thing every few hours, and I went to the thing.
Wait. You went every few hours
No, they have this thing every few hours. I went
where
to
the
it
slime comes
one
down?
time, and the slime came down.
Did it come
That was
down?
it.
I'm pretty sure when
Did it
we were
glaze your-
children, Dale told
glaze
me
your
that he
face?
was on Double Dare.
I was
'Cause
never on Double Dare. My
had, like,
dad was on Bozo the Clown.
Well, your dad was on Bozo the Clown?
Yes,
Yeah, his
we have
dad-
footage of that one.
Contestant? Like a contestant? Or your dad was like,
My dad threw the balls. How you have to throw the ball in the one cup, and then the next cup, and then the next cup, and then
first
the
of
next
all,
cup.
that game is so freaking easy. You know how it's easy? You shoot for the side of the cup, and then it toilet bowls instead of shooting for the center of the cup, and it bounces.
Okay.
Toilet bowls.
It rims the.
Next up in sciencey news,
It does a-
toilet bowling.
It does a rim job. What should I call it?
It instead of bouncing goes around the rim.
It doesn't go around the rim though. It toilet bowls inside of the bucket.
So instead of its vector being perpendicular to the bottom of the bowl, it is at a more acute angle with the curve.
I think toilet bowling was on point, Drew. You're good.
And
Thanks.
follows
Thanks,
the
Dale.
helix
I'm gonna
path.
go with the guy whose dad was on Bozo the Clown. Okay.
Yeah, he
All
said
right,
he was
so-
on Double Dare. That's all I remember.
I don't remember saying that.
There was a picture of your family and you, like, at the Double Dare set.
Yes, but that's
Honestly, remember you telling me that you were that
He was
you
on
did.
Double Dare.
Yeah.
Set.
Okay,
Maybe
you're
that's
not understanding. Yes, I was at Nickelodeon. Yes, we got slimed on. Yes, there was a contest, but it wasn't on Double Dare. All those things you're saying are correct. But just
You were on Double Dare set. All right,
Figure
so
it out.
we've strayed far from the topic at hand. Only seconds into this episode, so I'm
We're
gonna
off
try
to a
and,
great start.
I'm gonna try and keep us on point here, or on points here, I should say. Alex
Bing.
Trebek, the beloved host of
Why are we laughing?
because it's still a good show, and it's still fun. And he did what I think is admirable and also a very strong thing. He announced on social media that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Alex Trebek has been a host for Jeopardy for how long, Dale? Can you look that up?
Yes, it was like since 1978.
Okay, so he's been
Forever.
since before any two of us with our combined ages. Maybe I don't know.
No.
Was there a host of Jeopardy before?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know
So I
that.
have to look at the Jeopardy. Like,
So,
background.
pancreatic cancer has a 5-year survival rate of 9%, according to ACS. So he announced basically that he's going to fight it with everything he's got. He made a little quip about his contract for Jeopardy hosting still going for 3 more years. So he made light of some things. So I'm
broke the news on YouTube, which I was just like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he did the bravest thing. I mean, pancreatic cancer is a cancer. However, you hear typical stories of, breast cancer kind of takes the forefront of awareness for cancer, I would assume. I mean, or at least in my general day-to-day vernacular. I don't think we have an entire month dedicated to pancreatic cancer like we do October for breast cancer. So that's where I'm getting that general knowledge from. But
we might.
Dale, look it up if there's a month for pancreatic cancer.
I know, like,
it's November?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that because No Shave November is for pancreatic cancer.
It is.
Like, that's originally what it's for. Because pancreatic cancer is, I mean, God, I don't want to say it this way. It's essentially the breast cancer for men because it is something that's predominantly in men more so than women. There are women that get it, but I think from what I remember.
I have participated in No Shave November a total of 9 times out of my 9 years of having a beard. And
also, men can get breast cancer too. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah,
pancreatic cancer is the 3rd leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States, surpassing breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
It's expected to become the 2nd by 2020, surpassing colon cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. And then purple is the color for...
Which, I mean, so to be fair, that's just cause of death by cancer, not necessarily like how many people have it. Obviously, there's I think there's only like 50,000.
No Shave November is for prostate
cancer. That's what it was. I'm sorry. Which is why it's the man version of. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So November is not pancreatic cancer month?
November is also November is pancreatus, but I don't know. There's a Protestant
Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Be careful, those non-Catholics.
I mean, is it still November? No, September. September is National Prostate Cancer. We are going way off topic. I just want to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's made a light of it. He's definitely in good spirits about it. However, he did ask for prayers. Josh, you were touching on this is one of 50,000 people a year that get diagnosed. That's kind of what he said?
I think it was something along the lines that I didn't know if it was 50,000
diagnosis or
like he's one of 50,000 people that currently has pancreatic cancer in the United States or something like that.
Yeah, I just actually clicked on the.
He basically just was trying to say like, hey, like. He's no more special than everybody else who has ever had cancer and stuff like that, which is kind of, I mean, why we're talking about this. Cause I mean, cancer is something that's probably 1 degree of separation from everybody's life. Like, I don't think there's anybody who hasn't said that like, oh, cancer has affected me, myself, or somebody I know personally. So it's one of those.
2019, an estimated 56,770 Americans will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And more than over like 45,000 will die from it.
Yeah, it's a 9% survival rate for stage 4. So that's kind of a sucky thing. I watched a movie on Netflix recently called Paddington. No, not Paddington. It's
is it the one with the bear and the marmalade?
No, not Paddington. It's like Paddleton or something. It's got Ray Romano and another guy in it, but it's kind of weird. It's just a whole weird situation where like your survival rate is basically nil and so they give you options, and it's one of those things where you fight it and you might pass away, or you fight it or you don't fight it and you might pass away. So it's just it's a sad situation all around. But like I said, Alex Trebek has said he's going to fight it as much as he can. He needs us, the Jeopardy people, and everybody around him is being very supportive. So that's kind of what he's just going for.
I don't remember if it was correct or not. I thought the actor who was in Spartacus also had pancreatic cancer. I thought. No, he didn't. He had a lymphoma.
Sounds good. Real quick, the Jeopardy host before Trebek was Art Fleming. He did 2 segments of it, 64 to 75, 78 to 79, and then it was rebrought back in 84, where Alex Trebek is the host, and the narrated guy who talks at the beginning, this is Jeopardy guy, is Johnny Gilbert, and he's been since 1984 as well.
Nice. The movie is called Paddleton. It's a made-up game that Ray Romano and Mark Duplass play in their movie Paddleton. It's basically like wall ball, or anyway. Well, that's too far. I read this and it looked like it said Girl Scouts shuts down 3 plants, or Girl Scouts shuts down 3 plants, but it's actually GM shuts down 3 plants. 1,400 jobs are on the chopping block for that. So, Dale, do you want to kind of?
Are those 3 plants in Michigan, or where are they at?
No, one was in Ohio. They talked about, I think, actually fewer in Ohio. Then one was in Mexico and Canada.
These 3 plants were, I think they were in the news a couple months ago about, because there's something about the union.
Oh, actually, yeah. So, this is, an ad just popped up. Sorry. Michigan, Ohio, Maryland. Nope, that's not even the thing. There's one in Ohio. I know that.
I thought there was one in Michigan as well.
There is, but that's not the one that's closing. Okay, here we go. Lordstown, Ohio. We're shutting down.
Okay.
There's also Planning Canada that's expected to close. And a plant in Detroit will close in 2020.
Yeah.
Baltimore and Warren, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
So say I had read something about a couple plants closing. A bunch of union workers were up in arms about the plants closing.
Is there anything that says that reasons why? Or are they just talking like?
I mean, I know at least within Ford, everyone is consolidating because jobs are becoming easier or less, I won't say less needed, but less complicated.
Yep.
Because of automation, obviously.
So they're automating out a lot of.
Yeah, it's not, and a lot of people get confused with like automation too. Like automation in like a white collar job is very possible too. My job all day long is to do data entry. I'm a documentation engineer is what my technical title is. And my job can be done by a computer if somebody knew how to put it in. Like I sit there with like a bunch of other people and we pop out things that are needed, but
if you figure out an algorithm, your job would be gone.
It's not even figuring it out. It's not complicated to do. It's just like how the same thing I did with Delta. It's that it's a unique problem that requires a unique solution. But the solution is quite easy to do. Just someone needs to take the time to do it. So
if someone can make the automation process easy and streamlined and implement it to a bunch of people, then it'll probably be something. I thought that was something really interesting, just because this last week on John Oliver, they were talking about automation and how overall, it's not necessarily that people are moving to the United States, taking away other people's jobs, or these jobs are being outsourced to other countries, production keeps going up, but jobs keep decreasing in the United States. And it has nothing to do necessarily with jobs being put overseas. The carrier plant was one of those things where they're like, hey, we got this huge tax break to not close down the carrier plant in the United States. So instead of keeping the jobs for all these people here, we're going to use that $4 million to help automate our
those jobs.
Yeah, to help automate our carrier plant, which is going to reduce costs, but also put X amount of people out of work. So
it's a situation that, you know, we as a human race do that all the time. We people who invent, people who innovate are the whole end process to make life easier for the next generation, for the next person. And unfortunately, the result of that, the consequence, is less work for other people. Now, in that sense, there's always going to be another job for somebody else, from another industry or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I think we just have to make sure that that people aren't making, you know, so when we're young kids, we shouldn't be like, hey, what one thing do you want to be when you grow up? Instead, it's what skills do you want to learn when you grow up? So if you need to get a new job, you can get a new job and be diverse, you know, instead of grooming people to work in the coal mine or be a lumberjack or do just that one thing. They're instead being like, hey, like what other thing can you, like, what other things can you learn that are going to help you?
And I get that. But like I became an engineer, and it's a wide range of things I could do. So if one industry closed, I have options because of my background. The honest issue is we still need those trades right now. And it's like a few years ago, we still needed people who worked in coal mines. Not even that long ago, 10, 20 years ago, we needed people who worked in coal mines. That was a legit job. That's not going anywhere. And then the whole green movement came along, where it's a lot more, pop culture, you know, whatever. It's in more, in front. So now we're changing to wind turbine, changing to geothermal, changing all these different things. Coal workers that thought, like, as they were my age when I was younger, went into an industry thinking that's going to be their whole life. Why would I go to school when this can make me, $30 an hour? Why would I even go to school if that's, doing everything I can do?
I'm seeing a big trend with nursing for that right now. It was huge when I started getting into college. Everyone's like, oh, the boomers are going to need nurses. Nursing, like we have a nursing shortage. Everyone needs to go into nursing. Everyone needs to be a nurse. And I think the problem is you're going to get a lot of people who go into nursing who, we fill the demand for all the nurses. And then in 20 years time, now we're going to be like, okay, now we have a overabundance of nurses and, they're a dime a dozen and we don't need them anymore. So you have all these people that went to school to be nurses and didn't do anything else that are now either going to have to go back to school and learn a new trade.
Yeah, but eventually all the boomers are going to
Yeah, but there's a population in growth for the baby boomers where we didn't have that. Yeah, so it kind of like trended upward, kind of plateaued out and kept going upward for a population increase. So that little plateau is good. What Josh is saying is that we're going to have a problem with an influx of the amount of people because people are behind them becoming nurses as well.
No, I know.
So there's always going to be that little bit of percentage, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15% that are going to lose work.
Yeah. And the only way you can really be free of automation is to have some job where it requires independent thought, non-routine, social skills.
Like putting electric fences in every person's yard.
Yes.
Maybe.
What happens once we electric fence every yard?
You still need somebody to do that because each plot of land is different and can't be done by automation.
Like as soon as that robot has visual cues to know where to put the fence, to lay out, the owner of the house says, this is my property line.
Yeah.
As soon as that robot can go over a 4x12 grade steep deal without tipping over and still put a wire 6 inches in the ground.
I'm sure Boston Dynamics is working on it.
Yeah, I'm sure that your job is obsolete the next.
That's what those walking robots are for. And that's why they like shove them and do all those mean robot things to them.
Mean robot things.
Have you seen these videos where they're like,
the drop
like,
kicking, like,
yeah, they're literally like this robot's walking by and someone's like, yeah, and Sparta kicks the robot.
Yeah, they're trying to test it.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, like, God forbid these things become sentient.
Okay, Josh, you're getting a little too liberal here. Okay,
I'm not saying
don't be mean to
robots
the
have
robots.
feelings.
Robots have feelings too.
No way saying that.
Speaking of shutdowns, what's next, Drew?
Yes. Man, why did we pick all these things? Shut them down.
Yeah. So Amazon. I'm just,
By the way, shut down.
Drew, read the second one on the list of sexy news.
the second line.
No, the second bullet point.
The sub bullet point. First
Sub-bullet point. First bullet point, sub bullet point.
Fuck you, Mark Summers. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was asking about.
Yeah. How would you say that, Drew?
Because Dale told me to say
Mark Summers is a beloved food enthusiast.
Icon.
it. Yeah. So Amazon shuts down 87 pop-up stores beginning in April, or Amazon is shutting down 87 pop-up stores beginning in April. Sounds like it just wasn't meant to be for the tech giant to be
A big box retailer.
not tech giant, but the tech shipping,
It's a tech giant. At this point in time, Amazon has a space program, has online AI, has
the tech giant.
Yeah, they're tech giants.
Couldn't hack it in brick and mortar. So the fact of the matter is brick and mortar is going out so bad that
Even Amazon can't do it.
even Amazon can't do it. So
Which I was
I'm
just
sure-
joking around with Dale saying like, "Oh, Dollar General's closing a bunch of stores down too for like rebranding." Which like I was like, they're the exact opposite of each other. But like that's what I mean. Like one is trying to do what it can to progress forward. The other one's like, "Hey, here's an untapped market in the past that we never got a hold of. Let's go back and do that."
well, and I guarantee that they could keep doing it. They could probably lose millions of dollars a year doing it. The problem
They own
is,
Whole Foods. Like, why would they need to?
No, but but that's what I'm saying is they're probably just like, we don't want to spend the resources to do
Yeah.
it. It's not a matter of it's not working. It could be working completely. Like it could be working. I don't know. I didn't read the story. But
Wait, it says like in the URL I'm reading retail pop-ups, Whole Foods, Kohl's. So is it actually like there are mini pop-up stores in Whole Foods?
Let's see. Much view came into distance. Pop-up kiosks. Kiosks are found in malls, Whole Food locations, and Kohl's stores.
Okay,
Amazon is rethinking.
I get it now.
Amazon.
I already read it, Drew.
Okay. Fuck me.
So they're kiosks basically, but that makes sense. I mean, there's no really need for Amazon to do something different in stores that they're already at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need to have somebody else who's a different brand.
Do they own Kohl's?
I don't think so. They probably just gave them a bunch of money and said, "Hey, we'll help people come to your failing clothing store."
There are two different Kohl's by the same spelling. So there's a Kohl's like grocery pharmacy store, and there's a Kohl's
Clothing store.
clothing like store. So Dale, check on that.
Yeah, it could be Kohl's as in like food market. Well, we can't have Dale check on that because we're about to ask Dale his pop culture literacy.
it's okay.
Actually, yes, because I think they're the same company.
They Are they?
It says it's Kohl's Food Stores is what it's called. But I think it's by the same company.
Interesting.
Yeah.
People in the comment section, let us know if you've ever worked at Kohl's.
We have never, ever, ever gotten a comment.
We have gotten comments. It's been Russian porn. We've gotten comments.
Okay, there you go. You got that.
Just every
Okay,
day.
so have you watched HeadGum?
What?
Did you watch HeadGum at all? HeadGum is Jake and Amir's new channel that they've had for a few years now.
No.
So I watched their episodes. One of the episodes, it's called Off Days. It's like the little sub series. It's where Jake and Amir are the smart ones usually, but then this one they're the dumb ones. So Jake is talking to his two people that's also in there, and he's like, "Yeah, rich people are beautiful, poor people are ugly," and he's showing like tons of examples. And then it's supposed to be a comedy segment, and then they leave. At the end of the thing, they're like, and this is why it reminded me of it. At the end, Jake or Amir leaves, and the two people are talking. They're like, "Yeah, that theory doesn't really work out because Jeff Bezos looks like a thumb." And he does look like a thumb.
So a lot of the writers for College Humor also write for John Oliver. And one of the jokes they made when they were talking about Jeff Bezos possibly having his nudes leaked was that it was like it was a circumcised penis for a head and for his actual penis.
Yeah.
And similar kind of joke. I think that was Danny is one of the writers that used to be on College Humors also in.
All right, Dale, hands off keyboard.
Hands off keyboard, Dale.
All right, so
All the pop culture in front of me.
we did.
Good.
So Dale, how many Marvel movies are there currently in the current cinematic universe?
Will we give him within 10?
Within 10, 23.
No, we'll give him within, let's say, 3.
Within 3?
Yeah.
Okay. We do have a shot at redemption on this question, so
It's a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Can I write them out?
Yeah. While you do that, name them.
Yeah, just name them while you do it.
Full name.
Yeah. So let's start with number 1 is Iron Man 1.
Okay.
Iron Man 1, and then you have I don't know, it came out 2, but let's say Iron Man 2.
Man, those are the ones that just had numbers.
Yeah.
We were thinking about this. He's just going to say one character and then 1, 2, 3, another character. 1, 2, 3.
Then you have Avengers.
What's the Avengers called?
You want me to name off the Avengers?
I mean, you need the
No.
actual movie title.
I mean,
I don't know what Avengers 1 is.
It is the Avengers.
Okay. So then Avengers 2 would be Age of Ultron. And then Avengers 3 is Infinity Wars. And I'm going to say Avengers 4 Endgame.
It's not a current. It's not.
current. So Mrs. Marvel or Captain Marvel's out too.
Captain Marvel is out as well.
Okay. So we'll go Thor.
Okay.
We'll do that. Thor 1. Thor 2 Dark World. Thor 3 Ragnarok. We'll do Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And then you have Black Panther. And then you also have so many like odd things out. Oh, so many I'm missing.
There's
a couple sequels you missed.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Ant-Man. I'm trying to do it in order. I can just name some, but I want to make sure it's in order.
I mean, you're definitely not in order.
Yeah, Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Ant-Man 2.
Per franchise.
I guess Captain America.
Captain America what?
Captain America, the First Soldier.
First what?
The first superhero? The first
What is he a part of?
The first Avenger?
Yeah.
Really? That's the title of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you have Captain America Winter Soldier, which is number 2. And then Captain America Civil War.
Yep.
Which I cannot believe was a Captain America movie.
I liked it. But yeah, whatever.
I don't know why it had to be like a Captain America movie.
Because it's a
Are we throwing Hulk in there?
It's actually the second movie that was released.
Really?
Yeah.
at the end of the movie,
Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
You're not talking about fucking you're talking about just Marvel, not fucking Sony and all those other
No, yeah, these are just Marvel MCUs.
So we're not talking about like any of the
Very much think of any time where there's an
X-Men.
end of the anytime. Are we second X-Men? I didn't think
No.
Okay.
This current like franchise and its arc.
Yeah.
So that started with Iron Man and it comes to tomorrow, which is Captain Marvel.
So if Nick Fury was in the end of the movie or Tony Stark was in the end of the movie,
yeah,
basically.
Before Hulk?
That was you said Iron Man.
It was
which
Iron
is before
Man.
Hulk.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's see. What am I forgetting?
Guys, I just want to let you know we're up to 3 Marvel movies a year now.
And Dale has named 32 of them.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have. Or no, 15. Oh, yeah, 17. Sorry. I've been keeping count of like 5s on one hand and then 10 or 5s and then where you are at. So 3 5s, 15 plus 2.
Yeah. Plus 3. I have 18.
You have 18?
Yeah. Don't worry. I've written them down.
Yeah. So
what was the third one? Did you say?
no, he says he's within 3.
I said Iron Man 1, 2, 3, Avengers 1.
Oh,
2,
you did say 3. Okay, I didn't count Iron Man 3.
Oh, you didn't get Iron Man 3?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear you say it, honestly.
So there are 2 you're missing that are kind of obvious.
Okay, don't tell me anymore. I want to think some more. You want to continue on to nerdy news and give me like a few seconds to think?
No, I mean you're within 3, so you made it. There are currently 20 movies,
And you've named 18.
and you've named 18.
So let me try to think of the other 2.
Think out in space.
Out in space.
Or I guess that's a bad.
I was like, you had Thor, you had Guardians.
No, think.
I don't know.
I mean, one of them
You're missing 2 main characters.
He's got to come back home at some point in time.
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor Strange. I was going through the list, and then Spider-Man.
Yep. Those are the last.
Spider-Man 2. So technically, there's 21.
Spider-Man 2.
Homecoming's not out yet.
Homecoming, and then what's the second? Isn't there a Spider-Man second one?
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse is not part of the existing Marvel lineup. Into the Spider-Verse was a one.
You're right. Spider-Man. Technically, our introduction to Spider-Man happened in Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of people are like, "Oh,
Yep. You're right.
So
You're right.
Homecoming was the last one. Far From Home is the one that comes out later this year. But Captain Marvel makes 21. Endgame makes 22. And then Homecoming makes, or Far From Home makes 23.
Dale, you got this. You got this, Dale."
So pretty good question. Dale, you're 100%.
So what site were you using for that?
What site?
It's on Wikipedia.
It's at cheatsheet.com.
Cheatsheet.com.
I just Googled how many Marvel movies are there in the current.
Dracarys.
All right, so we're going to jump into nerdy news. Good job, Dale. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, guys.
Excited to get into this.
407 for me.
Excited to get into this next bit here. VR is something Josh and I have both been pretty, I don't know, like excited about maybe getting into this year.
I just saw there's a Fukushima VR experience you can do now. So they had a robot with a 3D camera go through the Fukushima plant, and you can do like a walkthrough VR thing for it now.
But it's not. Wait, is it like all like you control where you go? They just took the.
It's essentially like Google Street View, except you can just kind of like pick to continue going forward, left, right, things like that. But you can go through the plant
That's pretty neat.
And and I was like, oh man, that would be such an awesome experience. They still can't actually put anything too close to the reactor though, because they all stop working.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's still leaking some radiation.
Okay. So, but like I said, VR is something that Josh and I are excited for. We've kind of been talking about putzing around and getting one. I've been thinking about the PlayStation VR because it is compatible with the PC with an additional little bit of software.
And I want the HTC Vive.
And then it would also be compatible with, at the time I was thinking about it, the PlayStation 4 that I have to be plug and play ready. However, we don't have a PlayStation 4 anymore, so I'm not leaning toward that PSVR anymore, especially because I don't really like the bulb controllers that uses. Josh likes the HTC Vive. I don't care one way or another versus Oculus or Vive. I do prefer the Vive controllers, but the Oculus controllers with the covers actually seem beneficial to me because they have the cover, and I have, using the Vive, knocked my knuckles against the wall, and that sucks. That being said, I don't want to knock the controller against the wall and break it, so I'd rather maybe do my knuckles because they're a little bit more resilient. But jumping into the VR space is Nintendo. Tasha just tagged me in like literally right before we started recording tonight, has announced a 5-part their Nintendo Labo 04 pack. So it's their 4th iteration of the Labo. Comes with basically a whole VR kit for 4 or 5 different experiences. So basically, if you're not familiar with Labo, Josh, you want to tell them a little bit about what Labo is?
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, Labo is literally just an excuse for Nintendo to be like, how can we sell people cardboard and get them to play with it? Except it's way cool. Like, that's what it sounds like on, like, someone who doesn't know what Nintendo Labo would describe it as that. But once you actually get into like the breakdown of playing it,
that's how I would describe it as.
That's how Dale might describe it. But it is one of those things where there are a lot of intricacies that go with it. So putting the equipment together is almost like a puzzle. And then using, like a rod and a reel made out of cardboard to do a fishing app on the Switch is just a really fun experience, using the vibration and the controllers to have cars that move around on a track based off of another controller using like a cardboard thing. I mean, it's really just kind of crazy. You can get a giant mech suit made out of cardboard and use that in part of a fighting game on the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, it's a really new and intricate idea to be able to get all these things. I worry slightly because cardboard is kind of impermanent compared to like plastic and other things, but it does make it as like a cheap, do with your family, do with your daughter kind of fun, build a kit. So I think it's a really awesome idea for Nintendo. It's been very successful. I know we sell out of them at Walmarts all the time.
So, I mean, put it this way, I have the first set, and Charlie and I have done 2 full builds, and it's almost like a weekend thing. We spend like an hour putting it together because it does take quite a bit of time. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of smaller pieces that she wants to help with, that can't help with. So we've done a couple different of the things. So we do that, one or 2 rainy weekends a year, or a month, or whichever. Sometimes we play with those multiple times. As long as you have a place to set them, they stay pretty solid, and they don't get too dinged up or anything. They also send you extra I don't want to say extra parts, but they also send you like extra sheets that have multiple of the same bits. So if you have
replacement bits,
yeah, it's basically replacements. I mean, extra parts. So
the IKEA of cardboard.
So they're definitely not trying to cheap you out or make you feel like you lost out buying a box of cardboard.
But they're also trying to stop people from just going out and buying printouts of the cardboard and printing them out themselves and cutting it out on everyday cardboard.
I don't know how easy that would be to laser cut, like to get files to laser cut cardboard to make that happen. I'm sure they're out there. Somebody's probably done it, but
Thanks, dark web.
I mean, you could probably find that.
Give me
on
back my
you could
social
probably-
security
You
number.
could probably find that on YouTube.
I'm sure. Dale's probably already found one.
So, no, he found your
Nothing.
science question. Not.
Good.
So that looks like they're going to option a couple different packs for it. They're going to have the starter set, which is the Toy-Con VR goggles and the Toy-Con blaster. That's going to probably run about $35 to $40. The big set, which is the Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 4 set, the VR kit, which comes with everything, is going to have the goggles, the wind pedal, the camera, the elephant, the bird, and the blaster. These are all the different types of VRs. I'm sure I could probably go into it and see what they say.
Quick, my biggest fear. I'm worried that because we're using the Nintendo Switch, and one of the biggest problems I found with VR headsets is the headset themselves. Because you're putting a screen that close to your face, it really is hard to design something that's going to sit on the front of your face with that much weight and not cause neck strain.
So based on all of the preliminary images, none of the stuff you take your hands off of the items.
Yeah. It looks like it stays up on your face.
It's all double, like dual hand held bits.
2 bits.
2 bits. So the previous Toy-Con bundles were the variety kit, the robot kit, and the vehicle kit, and those were all things that you could get. Had 1 or 2 to 4 different things. The robot kit was just a robot kit, but I mean it was a whole pack, fist punch setup and everything like that. So, but for Nintendo to have any sort of VR capability currently, I mean, I just read a story about Windows 10 being able to be loaded onto the Nintendo Switch. So, I mean, having a VR headset that it mounts, or that VR headset that the Switch could go into, could open up at least some sort of similar phone VR experience. So,
still waiting on that AR Windows.
Yeah. The Windows HoloLens.
Yeah.
I mean,
they just come out.
They sell them. They're $3,400, but they sell them.
I meant to test out.
Oh yeah,
I got to test it out.
I meant for us.
Send us a pair, Microsoft. We want to try that HoloLens. So,
by the way, I emailed some fun company the other day and asked them to send us something.
Was it Tesla?
No, it wasn't Tesla. Reddit.
I bet it was Tesla.
It was by a company called.
I bet he's lying to us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the Lawnmower 2.0.
The Lawnmower 2.0.
Oh yeah, I was like, I want to put this thing to the test. Try to cut some hot dogs and stuff.
So got a question about Kickstarter.
Is it about the Project Nerd Kickstarter? Do we even have a Kickstarter active right now? Probably not.
No. It was actually, what was the coolest thing that you've seen on Kickstarter?
Of course, it's everything Project Nerd related.
Okay,
no. I got my wallet from Kickstarter.
Really?
Yeah, my Asker wallet was a Kickstarter wallet.
I would say that movie that the Psych or the
Super Troopers?
No, not Super Troopers. The other one. The other guy, Scrubs.
Zach Braff
did.
Yeah, that was a good one on there. Rise of Thadland was a Kickstarter, or was a GoFundMe.
Rise of, are you talking about the
Blue Mountain State movie?
Boob movie?
The boob movie?
Yeah. Not allowed to watch that, my mom said.
I will also say this, though. I also invested $300 into a Kickstarter for a phone case that is front iPhone, back Android that you put on your phone. And I did it for my iPhone 7. $300. I have never gotten it, but I keep getting updates like every month. They're like, "Oh, we're getting close. We're 3 months away from being able to ship it out." And then like 2 months go by, and then they're like, "Oh, new phone's out, so we're gonna have to retool and redesign for the new phone. We'll let you guys know when the next one is." So they're literally just doing everything they can to never give your money back. So did get scammed one time on Kickstarter. Don't ever buy the Smart Eye case, or you're gonna be like me, hoping to get something that's never gonna be there.
Wait, don't those exist already?
Probably.
I know they have the back screens, but it's not an Android processing.
Because it was like a full separate Android phone as part of my case that worked with the iOS on the front.
Gotcha. You said it was called the iSmart Case?
Yep.
So what I was getting at by saying that is, what were the cool things that you guys saw? What were their top amounts that got raised for?
Oh man, I think I could, at least for Rise of Thadland, or no, it was for Super Troopers. You got to be in the movie for like if you donated like $10,000.
No, but I not like what's the coolest thing you got? What's the highest amount?
Oh, highest grossing? Oh, I have no idea. Like it was a couple million, I think.
Yeah.
For the movies.
Well,
definitely.
one of the cool, awesome YouTube series that at least I've partook in watching, and maybe Josh and maybe Dale partook that I have watched is Critical Role. They have 43 days to go and have already reached $5 million raised for 40,000 backers. So what if you just divide 5 million by 40,000, how many dollars is that? I mean, based on
average?
Yeah, just 50 or 5 million to 40.
$20?
Really?
No, something like that.
I think it's
$2,000?
$200?
I think it's 200.
Doing it right now. $125
5 million divided by 40,000
is 125.
That does not seem right, really.
That's what I'm
I'm
doing.
trust Neil with his computer.
Yeah.
That is, I did it twice.
That's like measuring twice, cutting once.
Yeah.
I saw a thing on Facebook, a little meme or something, and it said engineers always enter the same equation into their calculator twice because they don't trust it the first time.
Yeah,
I do that every time.
Yeah. So yeah, $125 per person, and they got to 5 million, and so they are still. I mean, they're still rising as of probably the time you hear this.
They're funded, aren't they?
I mean,
the thing was though, they were, their goal was 750,000.
Yeah, so they're funded 4 times over.
Why would you still add money to it?
Because people who are passionate about things would like to give it more of a chance. So the bigger the budget, the better the product.
And are they still giving away perks?
Let's see.
Possibly.
I mean, there's probably still like a free copy perk per everybody that
a lot of these are just like posters and shit.
Yeah.
None of these seem to be out.
So,
but yeah, I think that's.
I mean,
all the other thing I saw was the wall.
The $1,000 one is gone. That had 35 backers. The $250,000 or the $1,000 $2,500 one is gone. That had 20 backers. The $5,000 one is gone. That's 10 backers. The $10,000 one is gone. That had 5 backers. The $20,000 one's gone. That had 5 backers.
So a lot of really.
You have to become legends or demigods or champions.
Oh.
Or heroes, or
we obviously know that the $125 per person is not accurate.
That was just an average.
I know. I'm just saying
that
with $20,000, like
that's like $20,000 per person.
Yeah, this is recording at 10 o'clock Eastern time at night. We're recording this. It's at 5,595, almost 5,600,000, 5,600,000.
Oh,
with 41,000 backers.
So 5.5 million.
5.6.
Sweet.
So
and it's going up constantly.
I was gonna say it's got 43 days to go. I think they've only launched like within the last 7 days or something like that. I think they did it a 50-day.
What if they build the wall with this?
That's billion. We're at million.
I know. I was just kidding. Like, remember, because everyone was freaking out because the wall got like $5 million, and they're like, "We're almost there," and I was like, "No, you're not."
Yeah. So that's exciting. At this rate, I mean, they could probably be at, if they have enough, if they stay steady, they could probably have well over 50 million. I mean, or well, I would say maybe 25 million if they stay at this rate. That's just
Project launched 2 days ago.
2 days. I thought it was
Yep.
7 days.
Nope.
So they have 45
March
days.
4th.
So 2.5 million in a day.
Yep.
So extrapolate that, Dale.
They put little markers in here too, and
Yeah.
it says on March 4th we hit our goal of 1 million. Stretch goal up next. Only 40 minutes, you have all banded together, and we have blown past our initial goal of 750,000.
Wow.
So that was within 40 minutes, and then they hit 1 million minutes later, and then they hit 1.5, and then obviously know where it's at now.
Yeah. So just extrapolate the 2.5 million.
About 80 million
Oh,
So-
if it was to continue on,
Yeah, at the rate it is.
at the rate it's going. Well,
I mean, it's 2 days. They're at 5 million.
yeah, but it's not going to continue at the rate it's going. It's going to decrease.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
so if it was doing 2.5 million per day over 45 days, then you're looking at 90 plus 45,
40,
so 135 million.
45 times 2.5.
135 million.
113.
What? 45 times 2.5?
45 times 2.5.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
112.5. So 112.
45 divided by 2. Okay.
So they're not going to hit that.
Yeah,
They will probably get slightly over 10.
I'm just saying.
What would make a more accurate number is if we took how much it's rising about now and then progress that out, because we've gotten rid of all the big, huge updates. So
Yeah.
the projection now would be
I think
closer to-
that Kickstarter and that stuff doesn't or has a policy against upping your stretch goals more than like once or twice. I think too. Maybe they don't.
I don't think there's a limit on how much you can raise on Kickstarter. Well, I mean, there is a limit. I think it's $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah. But
Yeah, whichever. So going back to our pop culture literacy bit here. Early reviews of Captain Marvel have hit the fan, and I say that because the vernacular I'm about to use fits with that. It has been a shit show. A lot of people are just ripping the movie apart so much that Disney has basically put what they're calling an embargo.
it's not Disney, it's Rotten Tomatoes. And it wasn't necessarily because people were giving honest reviews of the movie. They were giving trolling views of the movie simply because of what the movie is representing. A female lead superhero and other things like that. Like no one wants to see a movie flashback in the 80s. We just want Endgame. So a lot of the stuff that was being reviewed on was not actually accurate towards people who have viewed the show, which caused Rotten Tomatoes to then say, hey, we're going to get rid of. So because we don't want people actually thinking these reviews are true. So they actually took away the ability to leave a review in comment section on a movie before it actually releases.
So you'll be able to see all those junky comments, I'm sure, when they put them back up on the website. But it's not just sparked the Rotten Tomatoes, shit poster critic community. It's also jumped into regular, critic community because they're seeing that stuff. So or seeing those or they previously were, they're not anymore. But one of the big things that I saw was, you're getting a woman, but it's not Wonder Woman, and the fact that it's very predictable, or it's the most predictable Marvel movie to date, which is kind of unfair because we know what's going to happen based on the previous Marvel movies. One being the fact that she's already talked to Nick Fury. We know that. So it being predictable is kind of, or saying that it's predictable is kind of like, yeah, we know what's going to happen. We know that she's going to end up helping because of the way Endgame is going. That being said, there's a lot of things that we don't know, and we'll get that stuff. But how do you guys feel about Brie Larson just preliminarily playing Miss or Captain Marvel?
So Brie Larson has been super outspoken about other things within the movie industry, which is why she's receiving most of this hate. She painted a big target on her back to have a bunch of people who are anti-Me Too movement, anti-feminism, anti all these things. She painted this target on her back to then get people to leave comments like this. I'm literally chalking up even critic reviews to hashtag fake news. I don't think they're going to be accurate. I don't think that's really how the movie is. I think it's just people who are upset with the direction that this movie is going, and they don't like Brie Larson, and they're taking it out personally that way. I mean, I think that's what it is. I'm excited for it.
I have no opinion on the actress, whatever. But I do think this movie looks a lot like Green Lantern. Looks like a Green Lantern ripoff. So my expectations are low, and that's a good thing, I think, because I usually am pleasantly surprised when my expectations are low.
I think the characters are pretty similar, honestly.
I mean, he's that's actually probably the best comparison I've heard Dale give as far as like the Marvel movies are concerned, or we'll call it. It's definitely the Green Lantern of the Marvel universe. Different races being able to wear similar costumes, and
the powers are kind of like OG on both of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you get with Hal Jordan.
OG or OP?
OP. I don't know why I said OG. Well, I mean, they're original gangster too. Yeah.
So it sparked a lot of social media interest today, specifically because of that. But
don't buy into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it. We're going to see it Saturday, like midday. Like, I'm fully expecting to be excited about the ending and how it plays out.
You guys are going to see it Saturday midday?
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Tasha bought tickets for midday Saturday.
We bought tickets for midday Saturday too.
Weird.
It's funny. I was like, Josh never waits. Josh is like needs to be the first in line because he's OCD.
My tickets were $5. I paid $25.
You just can't wait. You have to go see it immediately.
Tickets. Like super
for Thursday.
You're always busy.
Student tickets.
You're always too busy to play games with me, but you're not busy enough to go see a movie.
Yeah, it requires no effort except this mind and these. Oh God, if my glasses break.
Oh, I hope they do.
Shut your mouth. First of all, I saw. Oh man,
I want those back. Send them to me.
What movie did we see? Like when we were there for your wedding in August. I mean, August 2000. Whenever you got married, 15.
Whenever I got married, we just celebrated our 5th year. So 2019 will be our 6th year. So it'll be 2014.
Okay, 2014. Whatever movie came out then, I didn't have glasses, and we went to go see it, and I had and there were subtitles throughout the majority of the movie. I had no idea what was going on.
That's crazy.
I couldn't see.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Was it Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, first one.
Oh my God! Yeah, I was so mad.
That's August 1st. This would have been.
I think we still saw it again though. Like I think I saw it once, and then we ended up seeing it with.
Let's Be Cops.
No, it wasn't that one.
August 13th, and then, let's see. Mine was the 19th, right? So.
It was before. It was like my first day there, so it had to have been. I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway. We just like resaw it, but even then, like there was a lot of like because there was like alien talk and stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
I just couldn't see anything.
So, I mean, I'm excited. Tasha's excited. She likes Captain Marvel. I'm okay. I don't have a problem with Brie Larson. We were meh about it at first, but I think Tasha has kind of come around to her being the actor, whichever, that plays. But we're not like in love with, the casting choice. It's not like Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow, and everybody was like that. Yes, perfect.
Can I just?
What did Brie Larson play besides? Like, I don't recognize.
Scott Pilgrim.
She was in Scott Pilgrim. She was Envy
Hello
Adams.
again, friend of a friend.
You will.
Yeah, that's every time I see the trailer.
What did she say? Okay, I'm jealous.
Yeah, every time I see the trailer, I've posted it once on my Facebook, but the mashup of that song and the trailer for Captain Marvel go pretty well.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant.
I'm excited. I'm going to look that up. So let's hop into science news. And
Hit me, Dale.
Dale, get that blind side question.
So this question is shit. This question is garbage.
Yay!
You have
a better one, Drew?
We got
methane is in poop.
We got results from the last shit garbage question. That
Methane and
this one is even
sulfur dioxide, I think, are the two main smelly components in poop.
This is from 2006 by KFVS12. It's a CBS channel. See, he's confused. These are the 10 science questions every high school graduate should know.
Ooh.
And I'm confident that you can get all these.
I read a book to them.
You need to get 9 out of 10 correct.
Sweet.
So, what percent of the Earth is covered by water?
75.
Okay. What sort of signal does the brain use to communicate sensations, thoughts, and actions?
Like an electronic signal? Because that okay.
Yeah, that's good. And it was 71% is what this one says.
Okay. Global warming. If global warming happened and ice
whatever.
melted, it's about 75 now.
I'm giving you whatever. Did dinosaurs and humans ever exist at the same time? These are super easy.
Wait. Like modern dinosaurs,
no, dinosaurs
were
dragons. End of the Cretaceous period. 65 million ago, modern humans did not appear until around 200,000.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, shut up.
Like a chicken.
What is Darwin's theory of origin of species?
The simplest or survival of the fittest. Simplest organisms survive.
Okay, sounds good.
That's evolution.
Why does a year consist of 365 and a day consists of 24 hours?
A day is how long it takes us to rotate. A year is how long it takes us to go around the sun.
Okay. Why is the sky blue?
That is actually from Rayleigh scattering. That's not one of the things you'll learn in high school.
Yeah.
But Rayleigh scattering is the reason why. Diffraction of light through the atmosphere.
Okay. What causes a rainbow?
Diffraction of light through the atmosphere through water at that point in time. Raindrops at 23 degrees, I believe, is the exact angle.
What is it that makes diseases caused by viruses and bacteria harder to treat?
Say the question again.
What is it that makes diseases caused by viruses and bacteria harder to treat?
Mutation of the viruses and bacteria to be no longer effective to the treatment.
Sounds good. How old are the oldest fossils on Earth?
The oldest fossils on Earth?
Yep.
Depends. The ones we have found or the ones we haven't.
I'm going to say I bet we can find some tiny little sea creatures from 500 million. 500 million.
500 million?
Yeah.
And this is 3.8 billion.
3.8 billion?
Yeah.
Wow, it's even further than back. Cool.
Yeah. Why do we put salt on sidewalks when it snows?
Because salt mixing with water has a lower freezing temperature than just regular water.
Your dad told me this. Dilution is the solution. Whatever. So that is 9 out of 10 that you got correct.
Stupid.
Which one?
Fossils.
No, the fossil one.
Oh.
What was the name of this company that I'm reading this from?
The school?
Wait, what?
What is the name of the
KXP.
group?
Q6.
I have no idea.
KVVS. That wasn't a question. I just thought something.
KVVS 6.
KV
KFVS 12.
KFVS.
He was just.
That wasn't a question. I was just trying to fuck with you.
Yeah, I was just.
That's good. They were just general questions. However, that 9th one that you got wrong, which is the fossil question, made me think about next week's question.
Good.
So just be prepared for that one.
I'm gonna have to.
He's gonna read up. You shouldn't have said anything.
No, because it's hard.
It could be anything. He's gonna make me name the periods from like way back in the day until now. Or
that was one of the questions I was going to ask.
I was
That's
figuring.
why you shouldn't have given him an answer because he's just gonna read up.
He has never done research in his life.
No. That's a fucking lie. You're talking to Josh Gibby, who spent all day on a Saturday and Sunday
That's true. I did
Googling for
Momo
bullshit to just tell people that it wasn't real.
Yeah,
I was so bored though. Like I get really into research when I
play video games.
But that's not interesting to me. Momo was.
Oh my god!
All right, guys, that's all we got. That's all we got for blind science. So we're gonna get into today's science question or science topic real quick, which is
SpaceX.
Tesla bullshit's in the news again.
Always. No, they did their. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The Dragon with the Crew Dragon shuttle top that was launched and successfully made it to the ISS, docked. They're going to be there for, I think, a week, 2 weeks, and then coming back.
I couldn't find any information on that based on that website.
I remember hearing something like that. They're docked. They're going to be there for a little while, and then it's going to come back. There was nobody in the actual capsule, but they did have a space test dummy, essentially, and then a little floaty thing.
I think they wanted to test to see pressure, temperature, if there's any leaks or anything.
Yeah, because they sent the first prototype in the Roadster into space.
So everything was working good.
Yeah. So, and I think, that's one of those things that, SpaceX doing awesome. I'm really excited to see what comes from it. There is another mission coming soon. I think it's Boeing is doing their
test. Yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. But that's coming up, I think, next. I don't know. There are suborbital jumps too that Tesla's going to do.
The one that was in the Roadster, how did they find out how that worked if they didn't have, did it just send vitals back and
I think they just
send information back before it drifted off?
In all honesty, they think they just wanted to make sure that the suit wouldn't explode in space.
Okay.
So
that the camera on it was enough.
Yeah. So I think just the camera on it was all they needed. By the way, next year in March is when we'll be crossing paths with the orbit again for that. So we still won't be able to see it with a telescope or anything, but yeah.
Does it have any correspondence?
It was supposed to orbit Mars, but they missed it by a lot.
A lot. No, but does it have any do they have tracking for it, right?
So there's not
it's just
there's no tracker on it projecting.
There's no way to
we did the math.
Yeah.
And now they're waiting for it to come back kind of again. So maybe one of the telescopes can pick it up.
It's we might be able to tell the distance away from Earth based on random
telemetry.
Yeah.
So they know the telemetry. They know how fast it was going.
They're literally looking for a drop of water in a fucking ocean, aren't they?
But as crazy as this sounds, they'll probably be able to find it. With the variable, and that's what I love about science. With the tiny variables they knew from the second they lost track of it, they're it's going this fast, this direction, this far away. That's all they need. They plug that into their computer program, or even back in the day, people used to just do the math by hand, follow, Kepler's law. And then they're okay, boom, it's going to be right back here at this time.
Is there,
and they can tell you where it's going to be at what time.
is it in Earth's orbit, or is it in?
It's in an elliptical orbit that goes out past Mars and comes back. So it intersects with Earth's and Mars's orbit.
Jeez.
So all three of these objects are basically rotating around the sun.
The green one, Drew, is the.
Hold on, we can't see it. We've got our thing pulled up. Give me 1 second here.
Yep.
Yep.
So Josh was right. It goes outside Mars's radius, and then
it goes all the way around the sun too.
Yep.
Well, it has to.
No, I mean I get it.
But so yeah, we're going to be able to see it next year, I think, or not next. Like next year is when we're going to try to see it again.
Yeah.
The idea was to never like care about it. Like we're not supposed to worry about retrieving it or anything.
Yeah.
It's just some nerds are going to be like, hey, we want to see it. And I think honestly,
so these are milestones, and that this one site has space.com, and I don't understand what AU is.
Astronomical units.
Okay, I don't know what those stand for, but close to Mars on June 8th, 2018. Most distance point for fun or from the sun is October 10th, 2018. Farthest point from Earth is February 21st, 2019. Close approach to the sun is August 9th, 2019. Closest approach to Mars is September 16th, 2019. Farthest point from Earth again is January 15th. Farthest point from the sun, so it just keeps repeating. And so it just constantly repeats and repeats and repeats.
But isn't it next March where it's supposed to be back around to us again? Or another year after that?
It's not giving me a close point to Earth.
I know Elon Musk tweeted it the other day.
Yeah.
Like at the 1 year mark. Because it was 1 year ago. Couple months ago or a couple weeks ago when they launched it.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to hopefully. I mean, it would be super sweet to see the Roadster, the tip of that cone, just flying through space.
I think what it is when it becomes close to Earth again, we're going to be on the other side of the rotation.
Like, we will be.
So, based on this image that I'm looking up, I don't know how accurate this is. It's just animation.
Yeah.
It looks like the Earth is going to be continuing around, and the Roadster itself will be probably out here when it's supposed to be crossing paths. So when it comes back around here, the Earth will be far away from it. So it looks like it'll take maybe a few years for it to actually come into contact.
Yeah, because the period that the Roadster's at is going to be different than the period for Earth.
Exactly.
I thought it was like every 2 years or something like that.
Well, I mean,
that's what it's looking like.
Which would make it this March, I thought. Because this March, like the one this April that we just had, or this February that we just had was 1 year after the launch. So that means the next February we have should be 2 years.
So was that animation based on its current position or the launch position?
Just animation I found.
That was the launch telemetry.
So that launch telemetry was probably,
and it's fairly accurate. Like those equations aren't hard to do.
No,
I had to do them as an undergrad in physics.
So it's October 2020 is closest it'll come to Mars, but nothing about Earth. So whatever. We'll look it up and bring it back to you guys.
Oh yeah, Drew's looking at the date right now. So it passes into orbit in September, but then so we got a couple. It's like almost.
So the closest it'll be is 2021.
That's when it was. Okay. So 2 more years from now.
So it looks like 2019.
This was the animation that Elon Musk showed.
So this year,
March
of 21. That's
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So it's 2 years from today, that date when he showed it. But yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet. Also, Model Y is going to be announced here in the next week, I think.
Where it's planned, not planned, but it is suggested that the Roadster will crash into Earth in 2091.
That would make sense.
When we're here with season
90.
86, whatever we're at. We'll let you know.
It'll just be one of us
I'm
left.
gonna die of a heart attack before then. Just let's be real.
Don't say that.
We'll have to get Dale's ashes together.
Oh, let's just draw a big X on the.
Let's shoot Dale's ashes into the roadster as it's approaching to just give it that extra year before it comes back.
Maybe that'll send it to Mars for real. All right, guys, that's all
And
the
then
time.
the people living on Mars in 2081 get all pissed off.
Why is this gas?
Fucking teenagers.
Our fucking Elon Musk sending fucking Tesla into Mars.
That's if it's still together, guys. That's the other thing too we really need to talk about, because like metal and fabric and everything like that this car is made of don't really do so well in space with all this stuff just floating around. I would bet that it's probably broken up into pieces and really space weathered.
It still has a camera sending the signal, right?
No,
No,
that camera had batteries on it,
Oh,
and
did
some
it?
batteries are dead. Yeah, there was no like solar power or anything like that for the batteries.
I
Should
want
add something.
how much a fully charged Tesla battery could power a GoPro. Do the math.
And the problem is, it's because it's so damn cold. Like
know.
it's gonna leach the battery.
I know. I'm just saying.
I would say the solar. Why didn't they put like a small solar panel on there? I mean, you didn't have to send a signal. Like, take a picture every month or something.
Again, I don't think it was really like the normal launches for what Tesla was trying, what SpaceX was trying to do there was just show that the Dragon Heavy could move a payload
Yeah, I get that.
the size of the
It
Falcon
became a
Heavy.
pop culture thing afterward.
And I mean, they could have literally just put a concrete block and shot that up there, but instead they're like, "Hey, we've got this car just chilling. Let's do that."
All right, that's all the time we got for you guys. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And
Let us know if you like our new standing position here too. By the way,
yeah,
been doing this
do
for
this
a while.
whole thing.
I had to do that a bunch of times, guys. I'm not wearing a belt today.
I took my belt off, but I got
Sorry, I'm losing weight. And
thermals on underneath of this. So this is like
Guys, it is nice outside. What are you talking about?
second layer.
yeah, I know for a fact it's not nice out.
It is 6 degrees here.
Even in Michigan, it's not very nice out.
It is 21.
It is.
It's also nighttime though.
Daytime.
So daytime's like 30.
It
Nighttime.
is 27 degrees here. I was gonna say 26, but I just changed it to 6. Anyway, thanks.
Snowy
Have a
right now.
wonderful day, and you guys listen to our show. Bye.